Coach, this is a kind of interesting game for you. I know you coached at Portland State a little bit. Can you talk about that storyline?
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of cut my teeth on Portland State University. I was there with Pokey Allen and a great staff. That staff's now all over the country in many spots, and it's something that I met my wife there. We had our children there. Portland's very near and dear to my heart, and so is Portland State University. But after all, game day is game day, and Cal's Cal, and you know where we're going with that, don't you?
Yeah.
When did they sort of initiate the pistol offense with Portland State?
Let's see. It had to have been Coach Burton's first year there, which was 2010. Yeah, and so Coach Burton was at Nevada, and I think he really appreciated the pistol offense there, and so I think he did everything he could to emulate some of those things that he learned at Nevada, and brought it to Portland State, and they've done a real nice job of emulating the pistol offense as it was run back in 2009. So they're doing a real good job.
An interesting character, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
45 pounds, and
he's a big old dude now. I'm telling you, it's like you and me put together, and maybe Kyle too, huh? Well, maybe Kyle and half of you and me. So anyway, the thing is he's a big old man, and he gets downhill and runs hard. There's lots of film of that guy putting his horns up and getting after you. So you're gonna have to bring your lunch and get ready to tackle that guy.
They didn't run him much last week, right?
I don't think in that game they ran those guys so much. They rushed for 450 yards or whatever, which is, right? Yeah, it's mostly the backs. The backs are incredible. They're downhill. They're not going to play around. They're typical pistol backs. They go north and south. They hug the wall, as they call it in the pistol, and so it's going to be one of those situations that I think, probably as he gets his reads, maybe we'll take that dive away and he'll have to pull it and get out with it in the perimeter.
What are the biggest responsibilities for the interior defensive line when it comes to
tackle the dive, and then when they do pass, keep the quarterback inside the pocket and put pressure on him.
And hit him no matter what?
The dive?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's potentially got the football. So if he's potentially with the football, take that football away. Tackle the dive. That's their main job.
What did you think of the play of your defensive tackles last week?
I thought overall the second half was much better than the first half. I think they gained momentum in the second half as they got used to the tempo of the football game, and were able to rest a little bit because we possessed the ball longer in the second half. So I think the second half was much better than the first half. I think the first half kind of got them a little bit tired at times, and I would have graded the first half at a C and the second half at a B. I'd like to see more pressure put on quarterbacks in passing situations, which will happen in time when they get used to the tempo of the game, and force offenses into situations that are going to be long yardage situations where they can pin their ears back and go.
You're known sort of for the development of players, and players like Dante
Moak and Kevin Baspett.
Right,
and
Kevin.
Those guys,
Who are you looking to be sort of the leaders for your defense, and also who has that potential to sort of, be developed, and whether they be young or...
I think there's some guys with some great potential. There's some big silent types on this defensive front. DeAndre Coleman is a silent man, but he, deep waters, run very, very, have a lot of things that are going on with him. So there's silent waters run the deepest, is what I'm trying to say. And that's what he is. He's silent waters, but he's very deep. So he does things by example. V. Moala is an emotional guy. He's a ball of fire to watch on the football field. If you just put a camera on that guy, you would have a ball, because he's like a Tasmanian devil out there. I just love it. Those guys are really good. Gabe King's got full of personality. He's come on very well in this fall camp. And Jacoby Hunter is another very quiet, very small, silent guy. But I got to tell you something. He's going to be a young man to be, to deal with in the future. He's playing as a freshman. He had 22 snaps against the Northwestern in the opener and played well. So those guys, I have big hopes for all of them. And as things go on, just keep them going. And again, I think those guys will develop as the season goes, because they're still learning the way we do things in our defense.
Expecting Jalil back at some point?
I am. At some point in time, Mustafa should make it back. Obviously that's up to, his body and how it recovers and heals. But I'm always right there watching him and seeing where he's going. You know, all those guys that are like that, we expect them
Is he
back
making
at some point in time. His progress is good. His progress is good. You know, I think he's in a good place right now mentally, and that's the first thing to the healing process for sure.
Thanks, Barry.
All right.
Thanks,
Good
Coach.
luck, Coach. Appreciate it.